we're gonna let Xavier introduce this.
Alright. So we're gonna change it up. We'll do something a little different today. We're gonna have a debate. A debate at dinner. You can call that a debate at dinner. Episode 1. The topic of this debate is gonna be, who do you think the most important person is in the world? Or the most important position in the entire world?
That's not how you asked me.
How about that?
You said it
no, that's how we initially asked.
You said if a galaxy came.
That's how we initially asked, and then
You didn't understand the question. After I asked it like that, you didn't understand the question. So I said, for example, if all the galaxies came together or all the planets came together and you needed to pick one person from the planet to lead, to be the
To represent
that planet. So like we have one person that represents Earth. Who would be that one person that represents Earth? Or what position would be the position that represents Earth?
I said, and he asked if I thought it should be the president, and I said no. I said I think that it should be it would be the top head person of the military.
I think it would be.
What?
Thank you.
Y'all get they want to hate on my answer like it's opinion. Like they want to keep talking about why my answer was wrong rather than just having their own answer.
I'm not hating on her answer. My answer would be the president of the United States. The position, the most important person or the most important position in the world would be the president of the United States over any other country's world leader or over the military leader of the military or anything like that.
What's your answer?
Sure, Isaiah.
Speak up, Isaiah.
I need more detail.
Thank you. That's what I said. I did.
Okay. I need more detail.
Okay, no wait. Before you do that, because you didn't give me details in the car. I said I need to know what they're representing. I said I need to know what they're representing. What is it that you need them for? What are they going to be a representation of? What are they going to be speaking on?
Okay. Now, I'm not talking about, we need someone from planet Earth to represent what the weather's like. In that case, it's not the President of the United States. In that case, you can take one of the top weather experts in the world. It's not, we need someone from planet Earth to represent infectious diseases. In that case, it's not the President. In that case, it's probably Dr. Anthony Fauci or someone else across the globe that's really an expert in that position. I'm talking about someone that can talk about almost anything. So whether it is about the weather, or whether it is about what's going on in the economy, or whether it is about connections with all the countries in the world, someone that can talk about almost anything that someone has to ask a question about our planet.
Okay, so with that being said, okay, who would your answer be?
Think about it. I don't know. My answer would be the Pope.
The Pope? The Pope.
Being for real. You're not talking about somebody who's biased. It's just nothing. Not supposed to be. You know, and then, like you said, you want to talk about everything. You can talk about the way the countries are. Like, one of the things, like, if there was a head of the Christian church, I would say that. But like, being as the Pope, and they have guys they have believers on every continent, and he's supposed to be the head. And like you said, we want to talk about the climate. They're supposed to be in tune to everything, and not have a bias. Not like you ain't gonna hear, well, the United States is the best. No, let me take that off first. I'm gonna tell you how people need to work together, and this country is this, and this country is that. But it's not gonna be like a downing thing. It's gonna be like, oh, well, we can do this thing to it. I think that if you're talking about somebody that represents like what it should be, or what something like that, I think probably the Pope. Probably that's my answer.
So he says the Pope. I have a rebuttal. I don't say the Pope. Because when you are asking someone for a leader or someone to represent, if I want someone to represent, I want it to be a leader. So if you look at the whole world, wherever the Pope is, I'm sure he's not in the highest chair in his country. There's someone above him. There's someone with a higher seat than him. So you think about world leaders. If you think about all the world leaders probably have the highest position. Like the highest position you can get in the United States is president of the United States. That's the highest position. The highest position you can get in China is the world leader of China, whoever the leader is China. So if you need someone to represent Earth, I would take one of the world leaders. And then I would take the world leader from the best country. And I feel like a lot of people feel like America
You're talking
is
about the best, so you don't want a perception of the world. You want them to give the perception of the United States, because if you're taking the United States in there, you're gonna be like, well, shoot, let me tell you about the United States, because we are the best, and this is the world. So you don't get the world perception.
Yeah, how knowledgeable is the U.S. president
But I'm
of
saying,
other nations?
if I see what you're trying to say, but I'm saying like if I pick the president of the United States to speak, it's like what's I say? I don't want him to just speak on the United States. If you look at the greatest country, I mean, you could say America. Obviously, the United States is probably one of the best countries in the world. But so with that being said, then you would take a leader. You want to take him to speak about the United States. You would take him to speak about the world, which I'm sure, which is a position that he knows much about. He can speak onto other countries and onto the other world leaders. He talks to the world leaders. He knows what's going on in every country. So it's not like we need him to speak about. We don't need him to represent America. We need him to represent all the countries.
No, that's what I say. Now, getting back to what we was thinking, like I told you before, if there was a head of the Christian church, I would do that. Because God gives him the world leader, but he represents the leader of the world, the leader of everybody, all men. You're not looking for a situation where picking a world leader. They're not going to give a perspective of, like I was saying, an unbiased perspective of change, of, how does the world look? And unbiased, but like, well, up here is rich, and down here is poor, and these people are less than this, and we're up here. Questions be asked of this person. There's going to be a biasness when you present the United States.
I think the Pope
Principle?
I think the Pope is good and it makes sense, but I don't think they're educated in enough topics, or at least educated in the topics that they do know enough to be able to represent.
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like the Pope is a good choice, but I feel like the Pope doesn't know enough or have enough information, education,
That's
knowledge to speak for everything going on. I feel like the closest person to that would be the leader of them.
Well, that's what I was saying in the car. I said that the president gets information from this person. He has top officials in different areas. He has Secretary of State that tell him what's going on around the world in other countries. The military tell him what's going on here and there, whatever. And so, like you said, as far as speaking as a whole, he wouldn't necessarily be knowledgeable in all, just because he's not daily continuing in education on these topics daily, like other people are, and then they report to him on matters of order.
I know, but like you said,
I feel like that could help, and I feel like it goes both ways.
So are you saying that as this person that's representing the planet Earth will be able to confer with other people? Or what? I mean, like Isaiah said, he need more details.
Okay, no, you can't confer with other people.
So just based on what you know at this time.
We need one person from planet Earth to come 2 million light years away with us, and we need all the information that we're going everything. Just explain to us about the Earth, explain to us how it works, explain to us about the people, explain to us everything.
And that's what I was going to say. The next thing especially with the Pope. When you say, explain to me about Earth, Pope's going to go people. And we're going to talk about the people, because the people make Earth. You're not going to go, when you go to the president, you're going to say, we're going to talk about technology, we're going to talk about, like you said, the different things like that. No, that's not Earth.
Well, the Pope, okay, you talking about biasness, the Pope is going to go and give his position of his religion. So he would speak on, like if you told a Christian person to go, a Christian person is not going to go and speak atheism. A Christian person is not going to go and speak another religion. If you give a president or someone that's in the middle that doesn't have a bias about a religion, they're not speaking on religion. If you get a Pope that's based off of religion, he's going to go and speak based off of his religion.
That's not necessarily true, because I bet you, if you were to ask the Pope to be knowledgeable about everybody's religion, about the religions on Earth, I don't think he'd be biased in one. I think he'd be knowledgeable about all of them. That's one of the things. As smart as you get up there, I don't believe what you guys believe, but I'm knowledgeable about what you guys do. Still taking.
There's no way you're still thinking.
I mean, there's no,
Probably the NASA head or something.
there's no like, everyone, there's no good example.
It's just a debate.
Like,
That's another thing that I said I believe that there isn't just one person. I said I believe it's an accumulation of people. So like you take, I said just like if we were in the end of the world and they needed to preserve life on Earth, then they would take the top mathematician, the top doctor, the top.
Well, yeah, but that's different.
And
That's a different type of question. That's
and put them all, somewhere safe that way they can come back and keep the world going.
I know what you mean, but that's like a whole.
I know,
different
so that's
topic.
what. So I'm just saying, I'm on the same page with Isaiah.
The thing is, if you had to choose one, the most important person on this planet, or the most important position, I feel like I feel like the president of
It would
the
be
United
a
States.
good position, but
he wouldn't,
That's
that's
right.
represent the world.
He is the most important person in the world, position in the world as the president of the United States. Just because we're the most advanced country, well, one of the most advanced countries, but not just because we got the best. And it's because we protect, not cause war, stop war. Hey, this is going on in your country, let me come help you doing that. So that's why his position is the most important position. But if you want somebody to explain what Earth is, or the world, explain what the world is, especially like for me, that's why I said that would be Pope would be, but the most important position wouldn't be Pope, wouldn't be the most important position.
Okay, so what if the Pope is up there and that's the Pope? Okay, now we need for you to talk about the economy in all the countries.
Definitely know that.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely know that. You have to be knowledgeable about what's going on in the world. When you have people who follow you on every continent. So if there's a famine in Africa, he has to know about that. There's people that follow that religion on that continent.
You have anything you want to add before we change the debate?
give me the phone.